Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Radiantly Feminine podcast, where we embrace elegance, confidence, and the power of true femininity. I'm your host, Mookie. So whether you're looking to refine your presence, elevate your mindset, or even navigate relationships with ease, this is going to be your space to grow and glow. So sit back, relax, and let's unlock your feminine power together. Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're getting real about something so many women deal with, and that is attracting low effort men. I'm talking about the type who barely text back, put in minimal effort to see you, and somehow make you feel like you're asking for too much when all you really want is consistency and respect. And if you found yourself entertaining this type of guy, I want you to know that this is not about you being unworthy or too much to handle. It's about finding someone you are energetically aligned with. I know people often say, you are what you attract. And while I agree with that, I have to acknowledge that women attract any and every type of man, but the ones who you entertain or accept into your life are a reflection of how worthy you deem yourself to be. Because here's the truth. When you lead with your feminine energy and your softness and your receptivity, you will naturally start to repel men who aren't willing to show up, and you start attracting men who do. So today we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how to stop entertaining low effort men and start creating space for a quality partner who meets you where you are. So we need to start off by talking about how low effort isn't just about a man forgetting to text you good morning. It's truly about inconsistency. It's about lack of intentionality, and it's about a bare minimum approach to connection. I want to share some signs of a man who is low effort, just in case you are having trouble using discernment in this area. A guy is showing signs that he is capable of being low effort with you if he only reaches out late at night or when it's convenient for him. That, my friends, is someone who is not being intentional, and he is not respecting your time. And if he's only reaching out late at night, he's most likely just looking for a hookup. And another scenario, if he's also showing you that he's low effort, if he cannot, for the life of him, plan a date in advance. Again, this falls into the category of respecting your time or not respecting your time. We all have things going on, which is why he should be even more considerate with how far in advance he plans the date. It gives you time to adjust your schedule accordingly rather than just dropping everything in order to see him. And if he tries to plan the date for the same day, he's looking for a hookup. I know that might sound far-fetched if you haven't heard of that before, but I promise you, I'm not making this up. Ask your male friends. I promise, I'm not making it up. Now, a guy is also showing you that he is a low effort guy if he leaves you feeling confused or guessing where you stand with him. His inconsistency leaves you feeling confused, and that's because he is showing you that he lacks the intentionality when it comes to you, even though he is making the effort to spend time with you. If you are leaving his presence feeling confused and guessing where you stand, sweetie, it's not confusion, it's reality. You have to look at it for what it is. And that brings me to my next point. When he gives you just enough attention to keep you interested, but never fully stepping up, this type of behavior will leave you feeling like you're just an option. And this behavior is usually called breadcrumbing. The goal with breadcrumbing is for him to either keep his options open or maintain the upper hand without fully taking responsibility. And this is emotional manipulation to keep you hoping and chasing for more, and it's wrong. It's completely wrong in my eyes. But when you're rooted in your feminine energy, you will notice this sooner because you're actually tuned into how someone's actions make you feel, not just what they say. And you're not just going off of their words, but you're able to go off of both their action and their words. Now, feminine energy is magnetic, but it's not about chasing. It's about receiving. I've told you guys this probably in every episode by now, but it's the art of knowing your value, setting the tone for how you want to be treated, and not overgiving in order to earn someone's affection. When you embody your feminine energy, you allow space for a man to pursue you instead of doing all of the emotional labor. You stop overcompensating when someone gives you the bare minimum. And you attract men who see your softness and want to protect it. They want to cherish it and provide for it emotionally and otherwise. And when you step into your feminine energy, your dating life shifts in waves you may not even expect. A lot of us have been unknowingly taught to treat dating like a game of effort and try to prove that you're good enough or give more than the other person and stay available no matter what, and hope that eventually someone will see your worth. And they call this compromising. But feminine energy flips that script. Instead of chasing or proving yourself, you begin to attract the right connections naturally. You no longer feel the need to overinvest or overgive just to keep someone interested. You start to see yourself as this magnetic being, and that magnetism does the work for you. Now, feminine energy also raises your standards without you needing to force anything. When you know your worth, you simply stop accepting the bare minimum. And that's it. You set boundaries with ease. You allow space for someone to rise up and meet you rather than lowering yourself to meet them. I honestly hate seeing those TikToks and Reels and just everyone saying, I lowered my standards for you and just making light of that. But it's not funny. You should not be lowering your standards. And I'm speaking from a place of I'm saying this as someone who has done this as well. So I'm not trying to speak down on anybody, but we have to just collectively decide that we're not going to be lowering our standards anymore. And what's powerful about this shift is that the right people will feel inspired to give you more without you having to demand it. And another way feminine energy changes the game is in how it deepens emotional connection. When you're in your feminine, you're tuned and you're paying attention to how someone makes you feel, not just what they do on the surface. And this creates bonds that are more meaningful because they're rooted in presence and emotion rather than just appearances and checklists. It also allows polarity to form naturally. Many times, when you're resting in your feminine, it gives the masculine space to show up in their natural role, which is leading, providing, and protecting. And that polarity is what creates chemistry and flow. And without it, dating can start to feel like a tug of war, but with it, there's a balance and attraction. And here's maybe the most freeing part. Dating in your feminine energy feels peaceful. It's no longer about performing or strategizing or working hard to be chosen. No shade to anybody that makes dating content where it's like, oh, do this to attract him, do this to keep his interest, say this and that. It's no shade at all, but that's not being rooted in your feminine energy. That's being rooted in strategizing and performing and somewhat manipulative as well. And it becomes about showing up as yourself and letting love flow to you. You can trust the process more when you do this, and you can enjoy the journey more, and you can know that what is meant for you will recognize you without you having to exhaust yourself just trying to earn it. So when I say feminine energy changes the game, this is what I mean. It changes you from doing to being, from chasing to attracting, and from surviving in relationships to actually thriving in them. Now here's the shift. You have to stop accepting low effort before you can start attracting high effort. And you can do this by just noticing the patterns early on. Don't wait months to admit that someone's inconsistent. I struggled with this in the past because I am deeply rooted in loyalty. Like, I am so big on loyalty. So I feel bad when I leave people behind. But also, I don't want to admit that someone just isn't right for me or that they're being inconsistent. So I was the person that would wait months to admit this to myself and to just realize that me and this person are not aligned. But if they're not showing up in the beginning, they're not suddenly going to become better later on. And that is a big lesson all on its own. They're not going to become better later on, especially since you are showing them that you're okay with their behavior by sticking with them. You can also start by choosing to stop matching their energy and just stepping away. Because if he takes 3 days to text you back, I don't want you thinking that's your opportunity to stop responding immediately and give him some time to wait since he made you wait. Because one, He's showing you where his priorities lie. And two, you shouldn't let one person's behavior be enough to make you stop being your authentic self. You can also start this shift by choosing to stop rewarding minimal behavior or minimal effort. If someone sends you a "what's up" or "are you up" text after ignoring your last message, you don't rearrange your evening to see them. And quality partners will actually respect your time, and you have to keep that in mind. And the last thing you can do to start the shift is have standards and boundaries. Standards are what you desire, boundaries are how you protect those desires. For example, you can say, "I value intentional communication and planned dates." That is a standard. Not entertaining last minute hangouts that feel like an afterthought is the boundary that protects the standard. So, once you stop entertaining low effort, you create space for men who want to meet you with consistency, respect, and genuine interest. So, to call them in, stay in your receiving mode. Let him take the lead in initiating, planning, and following through while you show appreciation and openness in return. And then you just be authentically you. Quality men are drawn to women who know themselves and aren't afraid to express their joy, desires, and boundaries. You will not believe how many people I have met who do not have their own personality or their own identity, and they rely on other people around them to tell them who they are. It's mind boggling. And the last thing you can do to call in a quality partner, is move slowly. Feminine energy doesn't rush. It allows trust to build so you can see someone's patterns over time. Feminine energy helps you call in quality partners because it shifts the way you show up in dating. When you're grounded in your feminine energy, you naturally carry a sense of self-worth. That energy communicates without words. That you won't settle for less than you deserve. Instead of chasing or proving yourself, you become magnetic to people who are ready to give and invest at the level you require. It also filters out those who aren't aligned with you. When you're rooted in your feminine energy, you set clear boundaries, you honor your feelings, and you allow space for someone to meet you. Low effort connections fall away because they can't sustain the energy you're bringing. And what's left are partners who see your value and want to show up fully. So, like I said in the beginning of this episode, as women, we attract any and every type of man, but it's important to note which ones you're giving your energy and time and attention to. And most importantly, feminine energy creates an environment where a healthy polarity and deeper emotional connections can form. That's what draws in partners who want to build, not just consume and take from you. Partners who want to love you, not just have access to you and hook up with you. And that's what makes them quality. Think of all of it this way. Imagine two women. The first one hasn't done the inner work yet. She's carrying old wounds from past relationships. She doesn't fully believe she's worthy of love. And deep down, she's afraid of being abandoned. When she dates, her energy reflects that. She might overgive just to be chosen. She'll ignore red flags or hold on to connections that don't feel safe because she fears being alone. Energetically, she's signaling, "I'll accept less than I deserve." And unfortunately, she keeps attracting partners who match that wound. Now picture the second woman who has done the inner work. She has faced her patterns. She has released the idea that she has to earn love, and she has built a strong sense of self-worth. She knows her value and she trusts her own intuition. When she dates, she's calm, she's open, and she's authentic. She's not chasing or performing. She's simply radiating peace and confidence. That energy is magnetic. It naturally calls in partners who respect her, who want to invest in her, and want to show up fully for her. Attracting better partners isn't just about who you date. It's about who you are while you're dating. if you've been attracting low effort men, it may be because you've been over functioning in relationships. You've been afraid to walk away from attention even when it's not the right kind. Or you've been unclear about your standards with others and with yourself. The more you align with your feminine energy, the more you become unavailable for anything less than what you deserve. And that's when the quality of your connection changes. Your dating life will change, not by accident, but by alignment. So I made this whole episode to remind you guys, do your internal work. Without it, you're going to keep repeating the same patterns. You're going to have the same ideas around love. So I made this episode to just shed some light on that. It's a shorter episode than normal, but I think it's really important and it carries a big message. So here's the bottom line. Feminine energy doesn't chase, beg, or convince. So let your feminine energy radiate self-worth so strongly that only those who can meet it rise to the occasion. And stop making space for men who only give you crumbs. And you'll be amazed at the quality of partners who start to appear. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me today. Remember, you are worthy of love that feels consistent, intentional, and safe. Don't just wait for it, expect it. And I'll leave you with this quote. You don't inspire commitment by lowering your standards. You inspire it by holding them. So again, thank you guys so much for tuning in today. I will talk to you next week. But before I go, please be sure to follow the podcast if you haven't already. And please be sure to comment, rate, or even review the podcast. It does help us reach more people. And I'm so glad to see all of the growth that we've made with the podcast. And remember, we're a community. So be sure to comment. I will definitely be commenting back and having conversations with you guys in the comment. But until next week, bye.